Hey, in today's video I'm gonna be doing a dreadlock update, and my hair isn't looking all that well, but I wanted to do it today because you guys have already seen my hair like in cool hairstyles, and I think today is a great day to actually show what my hair looks like completely washed and no products in it. Man, I hope I was in focus that whole time. The best way to tell the maturity of your dreadlocks is if you don't have any product in your hair and you're able to see, how firm it is and how mature it actually is. So that's what I'm gonna show you guys in today's video, and that's why I'm showing you with my hair completely washed, no products in it. I also wanna mention on greatlocks.com right off the bat, really quickly, we sold out completely of the locking gel. So everybody who actually got the locking gel, make sure to take a picture of it and tag me on Instagram so I can see your picture. But speaking of greatlocks.com, if you use code Gunther at checkout, you get 5% off your entire purchase, and if your purchases are over $25, you get free shipping. So make sure to go to greatlocks.com. But it is morning time, so you know what time it is. I don't know if you guys remember that day in the life video. I think it was my morning routine. Showed you guys how I literally only drank 8 cups of coffee for this entire year. I think right now I'm probably at about, I would say about 15 cups of coffee, to where it's like 1 cup of coffee a week. But when I do drink coffee, like I really do enjoy coffee, guys. But I limit myself. But that's not even the topic of the video. I do want to show you something cool though. So I'm currently driving a black Model X, and I personally have a white Model X. I'm actually getting some air conditioning stuff fixed on it before summertime gets around here. I just want to make sure that the air conditioner is perfect before the 100-degree weather. But after having the black Model X, let's take a look at it. I really want a black one now. It's really just cool. I think overall it just looks really clean. I do like my white one, but now let's talk about my hair. All right guys, so I'm officially at 6 months of dreadlocks. Literally not today, but tomorrow, which is the 5th of every single month, is kind of my mark of when my dreadlocks have reached a month mark. So I think I started in November, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know why I said the 5th, it's actually later on. So I think I'm like a little past. To be honest, I'm not sure, but I'm right by 6 months. I don't know where I was going with me saying the 5th. I don't know where I got that number from. But 6 months, let's show you really quickly how long my hair is. This is the front hair, obviously. It goes down to my nose. I would say I'm at the nose length. And this is a length that I think is just an exciting length to be at, because not only are you able to start doing hairstyles, there's just so much more that you can do with it. Not only do the hairstyles come with, it coming down to the nose, but then again, more maturity starts happening with length. So no matter what the length is, or not necessarily what the length is, but as long as you're continually getting more length on the hair, then you just know that it's gonna be locking up a lot quicker. So that's kind of what I gauge it by. I will say that all the hair, and obviously throughout this video I'm gonna show you guys close-ups and 360s and point out certain dreadlocks that I'm really stoked on. Like there's some on the back right here, which I'll show you guys later, that are just like really perfect. Overall, I just think I'm just excited to see where the rest of the dreadlocks go, because it has a certain texture that you don't get, by doing, any other method. The twisting with gel method takes a lot of time. It's a long process just because it's mostly just waiting. There's not anything that I go in and I'm like, all right, I have to do this to make my dreadlocks the way that I want them to be, like with the crochet hook, which every single day I'm like, man, I just want to crochet hook my hair and be done with it and just get it over with. Just because the instant locking method is very easy to do. Really anybody can do it. I've done it before on myself. I've done it before on other people. And I mean, it's just an overall easy method to actually do. So yeah, every single day I kind of go into that with like, man, it'd just be nice if they're fully mature already so I don't have to worry about it. And it's not really one of those things that you should have to worry about. And that's just one thing you have to learn from dreadlocks, is that if you're ever worried about it or if you're frustrated, then there's always like something you can do to kind of avoid that. And I think for me is I try to do other things that revolve around stuff that isn't actual things on my hair, because there used to be times to where on my first set of dreadlocks to where it would be a whole day of me doing something to my hair, maintaining it and doing a different hairstyle or doing crochet hooking all day, and there's just so many other things that I would do to actually speed up the process, and it was kind of not really overwhelming, but I look back and I'm like, man, I should have just really just waited it out. And the cool thing is I now get to do another journey of dreadlocks, and I actually get to go through the process of, you know, being patient and allowing it to lock up on its own. And not to dismiss crochet hook method or the instant lock method and say that you're not being patient, because regardless of what your hair type is, what method you choose, you still have to have patience, because overall, let's face it, dreadlocks don't really reach full maturity by you maintaining them. It happens over time. My rule of thumb is it takes about a year for hair to completely fully mature. Now, one thing that's very different between my dreadlocks now versus my first set of locks is that I obviously have a full set of dreadlocks now. That meaning that the sides are actually growing out, and then also the back. I think there's cats running in the alleyway. And for me, I think it's just really cool because it makes my dreadlocks appear longer than what they actually are. Or I would say it this way. It makes my dreadlocks look the length that they actually are versus having a high top fade to where they always look kind of short because you're basing it off how far they're going down. Like with a high top fade, it takes forever for that hair to actually reach shoulder length, which right now, I'm essentially at shoulder length because it's touching my shoulder, versus if it was a high top fade, it would, you know, it'd take a while to get there. So I think having a full set of dreadlocks is something I would definitely recommend. If you plan on getting dreadlocks, or even if you have dreadlocks now and they're short and you just started them, wherever you're at in the process, I think a full set of dreadlocks is something cool to actually experience. And I'm not dismissing, you know, that I might end up doing a high top fade in the future, because I really enjoy the high top fade look just because it's clean, because you have, you know, something that is a little not structured like, you know, dreadlocks, and then you have a clean high top fade and a nice lineup with it. I just think it's the best of both worlds. But obviously, I think as my hair continues to grow and mature, what I would like to do is just like, you know, a little taper in the front, and then obviously just continue to get the lineups and maybe a taper in the back with any of the hair that doesn't actually go into any of the mature dreadlocks. So there's many things that I can do to kind of make it look a little bit more personal. Now, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the stages of dreadlocks, because you guys have actually heard me recently start talking about different stages of dreadlocks, and I think there's 3 major stages. There is the initial locking process, which is whatever method you choose. So say you start out like me, I did the twisting with gel method. That was the initial locking process. And then after the initial locking becomes the actual locking process, or a lot of people confuse it with the ugly stage. So if you think you're in the ugly stage, you're really in the locking process. And this is the time to where, you know, the hair begins to shrink, contract, expand, do all kinds of stuff to actually find ways to actually lock up. And obviously the 3rd stage is the maturing or the full maturity stage, which takes some time. Like I said, give it about a year till you reach that 3rd stage. And I think people spend most of their time in the 2nd stage, which is actually where I'm at right now. And that's what I want to explain to you guys, where I was actually at in the locking stages. Like I said, I'm in stage 2. I'm in the stage to where my hair is kind of, you know, expanding and contracting. And the reason being is because I wash my hair. And when you wash your hair, or when you get it wet, and I know you guys see my pool in the background, I go swimming a lot, especially now that it's warming up, and I love swimming. And I don't want anybody out there who plans on getting dreadlocks or has dreadlocks now to, you know, resist or hold themselves back from having fun or doing what they truly love. Because I know a lot of people get dreadlocks and they're like, I don't know if I can play sports in them because my hair is going to sweat, or should I shower them, or should I clean them? And that's just a misconception that a lot of people have, that you can't get your dreadlocks wet. And that's one of those things that I thought in the beginning stage as well. During my first set of dreadlocks, I think 4 or 5 years ago. It was actually about 6 years ago when I started my first set of locks. So these are misconceptions that people have, is that you can't, you know, play sports, or you can't sweat, you can't swim, you can't wash your hair because they're going to unravel. And really, that's part of the locking process, and I would actually encourage you to do more of that. The more you incorporate whatever you do with your dreadlocks into your actual lifestyle, it makes it easier to enjoy the dreadlocks. And that's when you begin to not see the ugly stage. You don't see, you know, how long it's taking. You begin to have more patience because you're enjoying your life. But that's where I'm at. I wanted to answer that question, that I'm in the 2nd stage, and I'm with a lot of you guys. A lot of people are in the 2nd stage, especially people that watch my channel, because people come here to really figure out what to do when their dreadlocks are not, you know, where they want them to be. And that's really what I want to teach you guys, and what I've been teaching people for the past, I don't know, 6 to 7 years, is how to maintain your own dreadlocks so that you're not wasting so much money going to somebody when it's something you can do, because it's so simple. Although it can be tough, and there are times to where you want to be impatient. But guys, let's get into like the nitty-gritty of today's video, and I want to show you guys some close-ups and a 360 of what my hair is looking like. And you're able to see, you know, some of the dreadlocks that are actually getting to full maturity. So you guys, that's pretty much today's video. I just wanted to really, you know, show what's going on with my hair and kind of give you a little bit of close-ups. I think what I really want to do is, like, in about 6 months when I'm at the year mark, I want to do a very like in-depth time lapse of what really took place with, you know, the start to finish of my dreadlocks. And it's really cool because I've been documenting the whole thing. So that's going to be coming out in 6 months. Obviously that's some time, and obviously I'm going to keep updating you guys over time. And I'm just really excited for these on top to really start to lock up, because, you know, it's just taking time, especially with them being on top and not getting enough traction and friction up there to actually want to lock up. Although they are staying in their sections, it is tough for those to actually lock up. So I want to encourage you guys out there that I'm in the same boat as you when it comes to some locks not wanting to lock up more than others, and that just comes with it. But my plans for the future is I really want to do more hairstyles. In the next video, I'm most likely going to do a 2-strand twist tutorial and video on how to actually do 2-strand twist on a shorter hair. Like I said, my hair goes down to my nose, and it's just that time to actually start experimenting on different hairstyles. And I would encourage you guys as well, like, try different hairstyles, especially do it on yourself, because then it trains you on how to actually, you know, handle your hair on your own, so you're not having to wait on somebody else. Also, like I mentioned before, if you go to greatlocks.com and use code Gunther at checkout, you get 5% off your next order. And if your order is over $25, you get free shipping on your entire order. But you guys, if you really enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. And if you are excited about my journey, comment down below. And also comment down below how long you've had your dreadlocks in. And if you don't have dreadlocks yet, comment down below when you plan on starting them. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys do have an amazing day. Matter of fact, have a great day. Peace and God bless.